Oh man, do I love food. The LA Times even took notice after I ate at Hugo's nearly every day for 32 years. It was just blocks from my home in West Hollywood. And now I've moved to the motion picture and television fund here in Woodland Hills. And my obsession for good meals continue to simmer. Join me as I explore our food options here on the Wasserman campus. Hello, everybody. I'd like you all to meet Miss Joy Bauer, the wonderful food nutrition expert from the Today Show. Joy, welcome to the Original Foodie.
Well, thank you for having me. I was really looking forward to this. I think this is my favorite part of the week, Phil, so thank you.
Oh, no, that's terrific. So you were telling me you're in Westchester County.
So I am located right outside New York City, about 30 minutes-ish north of New York City. It's Westchester County. And we just actually moved from one town next door in Westchester to this new town during COVID. And interestingly enough, as you could imagine, we had all of these plans. So I have 3 children, and my youngest is in college right now. And we lived in New York City, forever before that. And I made this deal with my husband, and I said, I'll move to the suburbs, but when our youngest goes to college, you have to promise me that we're going to flip the house and we're going to move back into New York City. And he said, deal. And we shook on it. Then we put the house on the market when my youngest went to college, sold the house. We're a couple of months away from closing and moving into New York City. And then COVID hit.
Oh, wow.
And so we looked at each other and decided, we love the suburbs. We love the fresh air. We don't want to go into New York City, but we were homeless because we sold our house. Oh. So we were really lucky because we found another house right in the next town. And so we moved in, and I built a studio kitchen, and I've been doing all of my filming for NBC right out of this space right here. You guys are in my studio, my kitchen.
Wow.
And it's really been great. So I feel super grateful. We're healthy, we're thriving, we love our new home, and God was good to us for sure.
Well, tell me something. I'm sure our viewers would love to know. How did you become the expert nutritionist for the Today Show? Is that something they added on at some point, or?
It was a total accident. I never aspired to be on television ever. So I have an undergraduate degree in kinesiology and biochem, and I thought I was going to go to medical school, but instead I took a sabbatical from taking the MCATs. And I went and got a graduate degree from NYU in clinical nutrition. And it was like one of those moments, like the light bulb went off. I always have had a passion for health, both exercise and nutrition. I love working with people. I have the gift for gab, like you, Phil. And so the career sort of found me. And in the beginning of my career, for years and years and years, actually for decades, I was in academics and clinical nutrition. So like the polar opposite from television and media. I was the nutritionist for the neurosurgical service at Mount Sinai Medical Center. And then I was the director of nutrition for pediatric cardiology for years at Mount Sinai. I taught classes at NYU. I ran programs in Harlem and East Harlem for areas and kids that were at high risk for heart disease and diabetes and obesity. And so all along the way, I love to write. So I was writing lots of articles, and I was like doing speaking engagements and, anything that I could do to like get myself out there and get the message heard and help people to live healthier and happier lives. And what happened was my first book deal. I don't know if you remember way back when, but there was a Dummies series and an Idiot series, the Complete Idiot. Yes. I was an idiot writer.
Oh, for God's sake.
I wrote The Complete Idiot's Guide to Total Nutrition. And it was very interesting because it was at a time when people were really starting to take nutrition seriously and in a way that was much more so than just for losing weight and weight management. We were knowing that at the time, there was so much science in terms of how food could elevate brain power and enhance heart health and boost energy, strengthen your bones and rev your metabolism. And so when the book started doing well, producers started calling me and asking them to do stints on their show. And the first position that I got was with The View, which is on the competitive ABC.
Right.
And I just loved it. I was a nervous wreck, Phil. I almost threw up on my food display the first segment. I mean, my heart was racing a million miles a minute. Like, I didn't do television. It was just a crazy experience. But it went really well. And then they invited me back week after week after week, and I got a formal position on the show. And then I started doing Regis and Kelly, and then the Today Show started tracking me. And then the Today Show called, and at the time I was in private practice. I was writing a lot of books. I was still doing work in the hospital. And like, that's how it came about. And in the beginning, I just started doing it informally. But like, as you mentioned, then they created a position for me. So it was a position that, you know, was never sort of formalized before, but then I became the health and nutrition expert for the show.
I watched the Today Show for, my God, even since Dave Garroway, for God's sake. So, but they seem like such a wonderful milieu of people. They all get along. They're fun, for 7 o'clock in the morning. And so I gather that it's a fun set. It's fun to visit, fun to work, and fun to be there.
It's a blast, and it really is, like you're describing. It's my second family. Everybody is so for each other. And as you could imagine, too, it's stressful because the viewership is, we have millions and millions of people watching us, and we deal with breaking news. So anything that you have planned can change on a dime. Right. It's an incredibly smart, articulate group of people as well, with wicked funny bones. And anything you could imagine has gone on. I mean, I have fallen on my butt twice on national television, right off my high heels. And one of the times I took down Al Roker with me.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that is funny.
You just got to laugh. We do a lot of laughing.
Yeah, sure. No, it's a terrific show. And I guess that the Today Show is probably the highest rated out of all the others. I guess.
Yeah, every once in a while, like, we go neck to neck with GMA, Good Morning America, but the Today Show always pulls forward.
Now, so how do they work it with you? Do they tell you, they give you dates and say you'll have 4 weeks or 4 shots next month or whatever, and then you plan your courses accordingly?
So it's a little bit of everything. I have my regular spots. So, for example, every Friday I'm on the show. I'm on the show doing what we call Superfood Friday. So that's like a branded series that I have in the third hour. On the East Coast, that's on the 9 o'clock hour, but we call it the third hour because I think sometimes it's on at 8 o'clock, sometimes it's on at depending upon where you live, what time zone you're in. Sure. And so, and then I have other things that I do in the Hoda and Jenna hour. And so those are more regular, and I have like the leeway and flexibility to plunk in the topic that I want. So for example, tomorrow is a Superfood Friday. Wow. And they said to me, we would love you to healthify some sort of an amusement park food theme. So I'm making healthy, lightened up corn dogs.
Oh, wow.
They're really delicious. We did a lot of experimenting in my house, in my test kitchen, and we've been devouring corn dogs with mustard, with ketchup, with drizzled honey. Yeah, but they came out really, really nice. So that's what I'll be making tomorrow. But yeah, and then like week to week, there could be some sort of trend or breaking study or something, and then they'll say to me at the very last minute, hey, here's the topic. This is what we need to formulate. So it's a little bit of everything. Every week is an adventure, but I love it.
Now, is there something particular in your corn dog that's going to make it different than the run-of-the-mill corn dogs?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So first off, my corn dogs are baked. They're not fried. And in my actual cornbread recipe, I lighten it up. So first what I do is instead of refined white flour, I'm using whole grain flour. And I mix it with actually an entire can of corn kernels that I rinse and drain. So we have like a lot of texture in there as well and a lot of fiber. And then I also mix in some eggs and some vanilla yogurt. So you get some calcium, some protein, a lot of fiber. So there's a ton of goodness. And then one other trick that I do, instead of using fatty beef hot dogs, I use lean poultry sausages. And they come out really nice. And I bake them in mini muffin tins. So, they come right out of the oven. It makes a great big batch. You could just pop one after the other in your mouth and feel really good about it. Any dunking sauce goes, barbecue sauce, honey, Dijon mustard, like whatever is your thing.
I can see Al all over those.
Yeah, he's going to love it. I think he's going to love it.
Oh, my God. No, so you've been doing that show, and you've written how many books?
A bunch. I've written, I think 15 books. So this is my latest cookbook. So this is Joy Bauer's Superfoods. I always tend to be biased to my last book. So I'm going to say this is my favorite book. And it's just packed with all of the foods that we love: pizza, pasta, smoothies, desserts, chocolate goodies. But I create them using wholesome, good for you ingredients so that people can feel really good about gobbling down all of the things that they love, including things like minestrone soup and like barbecue chicken pizza. And I even have things like eggplant parm fries. And it's truly a superfood minestrone soup because I think there's like 10 different vegetables and the whole grain fusilli in there. Those are my sweet potato steak fries with a smoky paprika dipping sauce. My job is to make you hungry, Phil.
It's very easy. I'm a pushover here. I keep away from the processed. I keep away from, as much as I can from the processed, the cans, and eat a lot of fresh stuff.
Great.
Keep away from the sweets. I'm not a nosher. If I'm a nosher, it's an apple, a carrot, a celery, but all good stuff. And that's the way. Because I want to be here. I'm 83. I want to be around at least till 100, and I want to be able to walk forward and backwards. So I have to be careful what I fuel myself with.
And you can tell by looking and talking with you that you are what you eat. And truly, and we have oodles and oodles of research showing that by eating the right foods and the right combinations, you can really live a long, healthy life filled with vitality. And food is medicinal. And you know that. We have the power to manage, treat, and sometimes even prevent and reverse serious health conditions like heart issues and diabetes and arthritis and back pain and think more clearly. Yeah. And like the best part is that those very same foods are totally delicious. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now tell me, is there some secret tool that you have in your kitchen that maybe others don't have, or a few tools that you use for most of your cooking?
That's a funny question, and that's a great question because I'm like a gadget girl. So I love everything, and I collect everything from air fryers and Instapots and blenders and muddlers, and I have all different serving pots and dishes. But I'm going to show you something that you've probably never seen before.
Oh, okay.
And I'm lucky because it's right in the drawer behind me. Hold on. Okay, and this would be...
beautiful kitchen.
Okay, Phil. Okay. We're getting intimate now. These are my onion goggles.
Oh my God, look at that.
I put on these goggles and I do not shed a tear. It could be the most oniony of onion.
Oh, that's wild.
My eyes will stay totally dry.
Are they thick on the side so you can't get anything in the side?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, well, I see.
They have the cushion in the inside.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Whoever came up with that idea. Oh my.
I got a pair for Savannah. I once cooked with her and I bought her a special pair. And truth be told, I think that ski goggles will work just fine too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think whoever invented these are just genius.
Absolutely wild. No, absolutely wild.
Onion goggles.
Now, do the girls on the show do onion goggles?
Onion goggles.
Let's look at that. Do the girls on the show, do they cook? Not so much. So I would say, I mean, Hoda uses my superfood book all the time, and she's so cute because she'll text me. She'll make something with her girls and with Joel, her husband, almost husband, and she'll text me pictures and stuff. So I think that she's so overscheduled that she doesn't cook that much, but when she does cook, I always get a kick out of it. Savannah, sometimes she also reaches out and asks for recipes all of the time. I think the person that cooks the most is probably Dylan and Al. Al is a chef. Yeah,
he's a real foodie. He is so elegant in the kitchen. He makes mean, delicious, real gourmet things. And he cooks a lot with Deborah and also with his son, Nick. And his daughter is actually a talented professional chef.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yes.
Well, he always is right there when it comes to food.
Yeah.
Al is very knowledgeable.
He's knowledgeable, and he's skilled, he's knowledgeable, and he truly appreciates really good food. He's got a keen palate.
So now you do everything from your kitchen. Do you ever leave to go to the studio?
So for the past year, I have been doing everything remote. So everything has been happening right from here. Right. I think that, and there are definitely pros and cons. The pros, of course, are that, I don't have the commute, even though it was a small commute, but I could sleep a little later in the morning. I don't have the commute. I don't have to sit in the hair and makeup chairs. I sort of slop myself together by myself. And also, I love to be able to control the segments in my environment. So that part is really fun. I think the cons, of course, I don't have any help except for my husband. NBC trained Ian for audio and lighting and technology and the camera work. So, we have all sorts of stuff that are set up in the kitchen now. And Ian's become a total expert at all of these things. I keep saying I want to nominate him for a COVID Emmy for sure. But I think that we will eventually do a little bit of half and half because they've seen that they don't need to bring me in to get high quality, great segments. And I also think that the viewers love the segments from the house. It feels personal, so intimate.
Yes. No, that's a big difference. No, it really does. Now, Lisa, I get such a kick out of Lisa Lillian, your dear friend, because her stuff is so quick, and yet it's imaginative. I can't even say the word. She has an imagination when it comes to putting together the ingredients.
Lisa Lillian is one of a kind. I mean, I'm the president of her fan club. She has aside from having the biggest heart, the most gigantic, heartwarming love in her soul. She also has the most clever, unique recipes up her sleeve. And like you said, she's all about quick and easy and creative. Yes. And low calorie and helping people with weight management. Yeah. So she's a really, really dear friend.
Now, how do you know each other? Did you go to school together or you're just friends?
I feel like I've known Lisa forever, but we actually met professionally. So what happened was before COVID, I did a lot of traveling to the West Coast. I do Access Hollywood. I do the Hallmark Channel, which is another great part about filming from my house because on any given week, without the hassle of travel, I'm able to do shows all around the world. I was in Canada this morning, just from my kitchen. I did the Canadian morning show. So that stuff is really great. I didn't have to go through customs, didn't need my passport. It was fantastic. Truth be told, I was even wearing my pajama pants, dressed from the top up. Yes. But so one time I went to the West Coast and I was promoting a book, and Lisa was generous enough to invite me on her podcast. This is years ago, years and years and years ago. And, it was like one of these love at first sights. I went into Hungryland, her office, and it was as if we had been college roommates. Wow. We just started chatting. And after we finished the podcast, this is a true story, she got me in her car and with her dog. She didn't have Bam Bam at the time. I think she only had Lolly, and Lolly sat on my lap. And we went back to her house and we threw a dinner party. So it was like the date that kept on going and going and going. It never ended. And then ever since then, we've become very, very good friends.
No, that's very nice.
I wish that she lived next door to me in Westchester.
Well, us Angelinos here, I'm born and bred here. And I've had the pleasure of traveling across the ponds and through some of our states. And I come back to Southern California and I kiss the ground. I mean, it is so special here and so different. I mean, with what the havocs that our fellow citizens go through with hurricanes and rainstorms and hail. And here, it's winter and it's 84 degrees. I mean, it's craziness here, but this is a great place. I know, of course, my Southern California backwards. We are also very long. If you ever take a road trip from Los Angeles and go north, it takes you days before you get to the top of California.
Right.
I mean,
right.
Yeah.
I love all of California, really. I spend a lot of time in San Francisco. I love Napa.
Yeah.
And of course, Los Angeles for business quite a bit. And I love Laguna and La Jolla and San Diego. I love it all. I love it all. I am rooted in New York. You hear my doggy. Right. That's my dog, Gadsby.
Gadsby.
Maybe she'll say hi at some point. But I'm rooted in New York because I have extended family here. So this, I call these my bell pepper nachos. These are epic. These are so delicious. For anybody who watches this, if you want to make something that is so scrumptious and so simple, all I do is instead of the starchy chips, I use quartered bell peppers, and bell peppers are packed with vitamin C and fiber, so it helps to boost the immune system. And Jennifer, your glowing skin. Vitamin C is also great for a youthful looking complexion because it helps with collagen production. So those bell peppers then have seasoned lean turkey meat, black beans, corn, a little bit of cheese melted on top, jalapenos, and you could doctor it up when it comes out of the oven with anything you want. Salsa, Greek yogurt, guac, cilantro, you name it. They are amazingly delicious.
That looks incredible. Sadly, I am allergic to bell peppers. Bell peppers and eggplant.
Look what we have for you. That is my longevity smoothie. So this is a really interesting smoothie. I took the research from around the world, actually, when we look at the people who live past 100, the longest, healthiest lives. And the commonalities between what they eat green leafy vegetables. So I put spinach or kale in here. They eat berries. So you'll see I have mixed berries in here. They drink green tea. So instead of adding milk or water or juice in the smoothie, I steep some green tea. They have seeds and nuts. There's some nuts in here. I add some chia or ground flax seeds. I put in a banana because it's loaded with potassium, which is great for our tickers. And I whirl this thing up, and I'm telling you, it becomes so thick and luxurious, and it tastes sweet. You can't even taste the vegetables in here. It's really, really delicious. It's an easy thing to make.
That's my jam. Absolutely.
Cheers to a longevity smoothie. And we need some chocolate. So these are my 2-ingredient chocolate crunch bars. All I do is I melt dark chocolate chips and I mix it with even parts. So it's 2 cups of melted dark chocolate chips. I mix it with a crispy brown rice cereal. So it's the brown rice version of Rice Krispies. Right. And you just smooth it out on a baking sheet and you pop it in the refrigerator to firm just about 20, 30 minutes. And you have chocolate crunch bars without any of the junky ingredients. They're so good. Definitely hits the sweet spot.
Yeah. That's for me too. Oh,
more. Like that stuff?
More. Bring it.
This is a good one. I didn't know that you have this one. This is one of my favorites. It's an overnight oats banana cream pie style. Yeah. So all you do is before you go to bed, I have it in a pretty mason jar, but you can use any kind of bowl. I just mix some cottage cheese with a ripe banana, a little bit of chia seeds, and 1/2 cup of dry oats. You mash the whole thing together and you just let it sit overnight, and you wake up in the morning, you have banana cream pie pudding.
Sure.
That's what it tastes like. And there's no sugar, and it's brimming with the good stuff.
We have some people that are watching on Zoom insisting that we get these recipes.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. And all of the recipes are also in the superfood book.
Perfect.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
Yeah. Maybe we order a couple of those books, send them to the East Coast first, have you sign them.
I would love that. And you know what I just found out? So normally the book on Amazon is $26. I've never seen this special before. They're running a special for $12.
Oh my God.
Nice.
At $12 is actually less money than I get with my author discount. My author discount is normally, I think, $16 or $17. So that made me so happy. They discounted it for Mother's Day and they never bought it back up.
All right. So I'm going on Amazon later today, ordering a bunch of them.
I'm going to write love notes. Love notes for everybody.
Oh,
awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I am going to pop off. Phil is going to give you his standard catchphrase. And Joy, thank you for being with us.
Oh, it is my pleasure. Thank you. Mwah. This was so much fun.
Joy, I want to thank you so very much for joining us. And my usual little sign off, till we eat again.
I love it. Bye-bye, Phil. Thank you.
Thank you very much.